All right. Well, thank you, Travis. Let me just say that Travis is a great addition to the Greater Mount Airy Chamber of Commerce. He really does a wonderful job. You can tell he's got some radio experience when he talks. He does a really good job. Well, welcome. Good morning, everyone. Let me just begin by saying that my dad used to, when he would make a talk, he would take a little cassette recorder and would place it by the podium so he could go back and critique later, go back and listen to it and see what all the mistakes he made, where he could do better next time. Then he found out he could take Erlene, my mother, to a meeting with him. And so he stopped taking the recorder and had a better situation, just took her along. And so my wife, Jennifer, is on board, and I'm sure she's going to be texting me, letting me know when I'm not doing the right thing. But another thing I want to mention about, I've got on a tie and a shirt, and Jennifer asked me, "What are you going to wear?" And I said, "Well, I'll probably wear a polo shirt, golf shirt." "No, you're not. You're going to wear a shirt and tie, coat, shirt, and tie." Well, I didn't put the coat on. But David Bradley, who used to be the president of the chamber, one time saw me downtown in Mount Airy, and he came running up to me on the corner and he said, "Kelly, oh my goodness, you're all dressed up. Somebody must have died." So I never will forget that. So I'm not used to wearing a shirt and tie. So this is a real treat for you guys to see this. But anyway, let me just give you a very brief history about WPAQ. It all started back on Groundhog Day, 1948. And my father and his father literally just built the place. He would saw the lumber. My grandfather, he had a sawmill, and they would bring in a tower erector and some other folks to get involved, and they built the place. It took about 2.5 years because my dad was such a perfectionist. If it wasn't done right, he'd have them tear it out and do it again. But finally, in the early 50s, when my dad and mom were on their anniversary honeymoon, the FCC attorney called and said, "Ralph, I've got a wedding gift for you. You've just been granted 10,000 watts." So that was a real treat to be able to go to that high of power. And we're still 10,000 watts. And since then, in 2007, we added streaming. We're streaming worldwide. So we go all over the place, literally around the world. And that was a great thing to happen. The first words out of my mouth were "Hello, world," when I got a chance to launch that. Well, speaking of launching, next week, if all goes well, we will be launching our FM translator. We'll have an FM station. This will be a new station, but it will still have the same, what you hear on the AM 740, you'll also hear on FM 106.7 starting next week, hopefully. And it'll be on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which a lot of people have been asking about. We'll be streaming 24/7. The AM will sign off at sunset and be back on at sunrise the following day. But so a lot is happening at WPAQ. This has been a crazy year with the pandemic, the coronavirus, and the murder hornets, and all the unrest, going on in our country. I like to think that WPAQ is an opportunity for people to get away from that 24/7 news coverage that gets a little bit crazy, and the pundits on Facebook and all the comments being made, that we're kind of a diversion, an outlet for something positive. And I hope that we're making that mark. And Brack Llewellyn will say, "Well, we'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, and we're going to keep doing this until we get it right." So here, 73 years almost, we're going to keep doing this until we get it right. We're never done. And you're going to see more community involvement. Not only have we covered parades down through the years, we're fortunately a big part of the Chamber of Commerce Autumn Leaves Festival every year, providing the entertainment with the bandstand. We broadcast spelling bees. My goodness, any kind of big event, we try to be there. The Black Lives Matter parade, we were there and covered the whole event the other Sunday, and that was a good opportunity. So any chance we get, please let us know. We want to try to be there if we all possible can. WPAQ is known for the music. My dad loved bluegrass and Blue Ridge Mountain style string music. And so he wanted to make an opportunity for people to hear more of it. So WPAQ was born. So we're playing the music native to the foothills and the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. We're big supporters of local talent. We always have been with our WPAQ merry-go-round. Oh yeah, I was just thinking about some other things we used to cover. When we had the tobacco market opening, we were there. Harold Hodges, the late Harold Hodges, would start out the chant, the tobacco auction chant. We were there to cover that. We've been there for Mount Airy football state championships and basketball state championships dating back all the way to 1948. That's been real important for us. Local sports, local news. We're trying to make a difference. That's one of our slogans down through the years, making a difference. And it's been a challenge this year. We're a family-owned business, and there are pros and cons to that. If any of you out there have your own family running the business, you know that there are bright spots and there are low moments. Sometimes you may have to bring somebody in, a mediator, to straighten things out if it gets a little bit rough. But no, it's not that bad. We get along pretty well, but we take our work home with us. That might be a con, because we're still talking radio every time we get together as a family, when we're home or at Christmas. And I think the children and the grandchildren are getting a little bit nervous or upset about that. They don't like to hear that all the time. But anyway, that's one thing about a family-owned business. And we're a small business. We hear a lot about the small business has been affected. Well, we're in that group. We've struggled. We've had to make adjustments. Unfortunately, we had to furlough a little bit, and fortunately they're back with us now. But we did have to do that for a while. We took a big hit. And a lot of people think that radio is free. We have a payroll to keep, we have expenses, we have power bill to pay, and all that. And so we've got to try to make a profit, or at least break even. So we're a part of that small business, and we appreciate all the support that you give us and have given us all these years. And one thing about radio, I'll mention this, that it's a real big advantage, is we can get it on right away. You may have heard the old expression, see it tonight, read it tomorrow, or hear it now. So we're a part of the hear it now. And that's one nice thing and one benefit about radio. And some of you may not even know that we exist. I mean, that's a possibility that someone watching this Zoom meeting today doesn't know about WPAQ, and maybe in the question and answer session, we can cover some of your questions. We hope to keep that hometown feel. There's a lot of corporate radio out there. There's iHeartRadio. There's big Salem Communications. There are big outfits that have multiple stations, and not just radio, but TV stations. And, that's the one thing about that separates us in a good way, is you can hear about your local community. You can't go to satellite radio or these big stations out of town and listen online to them, or catch it on your FM or AM dial. We're community. We're all about Mount Airy and Surrey County and Patrick County and Carroll County, all of our marketing area. And so, if you've got a song request, well, we could get it on. If you've got a lost pet, we could put that on the air. We had a lady one time, she said, I need